Hi there, I'm Shasta Criss. I'm a professional disc golfer with the team DGA. Been on the team since 2010. So I grew up and lived my whole life here in Santa Cruz, California. I've been throwing frisbees ever since I can remember. Whenever we'd go to the beach, there would always be a frisbee in tow and would play catch with both my parents. I played disc golf for the first time. It was probably 1982 or something like that. My dad brought me up to UCSC to the tone pole course they had up there. And I think I made it through the first hole. And I said, Dad, this is boring. Can we just play catch? Because I just wasn't quite ready for it. I was too little. My first disc golf course I actually ever really played was De La Viega disc golf course. In about 1992, one of my good buddies who was a year older than me, he had his driver's license and took me and another buddy up there. It was great. About 2002, 2003, I started getting serious and saw other people throwing discs that I really admired the way they threw, and I was like, you know what? I really want to get good at disc golf. I really like it. I had a lot of time in my hands during the daytime because I was working here at night, and I lived right below De La Viega, so I pretty much started playing De La almost every day. I saw there was a tournament coming up on the bulletin board. It was the 2005 Fault Line Classic. To this point in my life, I had never shot under par at De La. I'd shot even like years over and done it many times, but I couldn't get under. And it was the day before the tournament, and I told myself, if I can shoot under par today, I'm gonna sign up for that disc golf tournament. And sure enough, I went out playing by myself like I usually did, and I shot a 1 under. And then I'm like, all right, I'm doing it. And I went, there were still spots open. I went and talked to the TD. And he said, yeah, you can play. It's an A tier though, so you need to be registered with the PDGA. This is a professional only tournament. And I was like, okay, well, I want to play. So I had to pay my dues for both and played my first tournament, 2005 Fault Line Classic at De La Viega. And I didn't get last. I started to meet local players and get involved and kind of find out about all the other tournaments that are going around. So 2006, I probably played, I don't know, at least a half a dozen, 8 tournaments all around California. Kind of figured out where they were, went and played, and about 2 or 3 into it was the 2006 San Francisco Safari, and I played well enough to tie for the last cash. I got a little envelope, I think it was like $37. I think last cash was $75 and we split it $37 each and got about half my entry fee back, and it was like, wow, I actually got money to play disc golf. Each year I started playing more and more tournaments, and then 2010 at the Masters Cup I had a pretty strong finish, and that's when DGA approached me about wanting to be a sponsored player, and I was kind of like, finally, yeah, let's do this. I already had some friends on the team, and it was a local company, and it was an honor and amazing to have a company want to sponsor me. And that was the beginning of me being I guess a true professional at that point. I'm actually having somebody who wants me to be a part of their team and represent them and give me incentives to do well, give me free discs, and then I had teammates to go and travel with and share all our disc golf adventures with. Basically, I've been competing in about 15 or to 20 tournaments a year since then, and then kind of my big break was 2016. It was my first year playing Masters, and then I also got to it was the first year of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. I was at the Memorial that year and talking to my friend Dustin Keegan and Zoe Andike, and they were telling me about an opportunity to go work for the Pro Tour. Basically, I was one of 4 people. It was Paul Oman was the 4th, and we were supplied an RV and a big trailer with all the Disc Golf Pro Tour, like basically the festival and all the different things, and we went and set it up, tore it down to the 6 Pro Tour events in 2016. So that was pretty amazing to be a part of that whole experience. It was quite an adventure. It was a lot of learning going on between us and Steve Dodge and the whole tour and stuff like that. But it was really neat to actually be hands-on grassroots with part of something that's really now, like it's in its 4th year now. It's amazing how much it's growing and actually providing a platform for professional disc golfers to be able to tour. And in 2016, I mostly still played open tournaments, but it was my first time competing in a world championships in the Masters division. And it was when they were still all together in Emporia, Kansas. And I gave it a really good run. I was tied for the lead in the final, going into the final 9 with Johnny McRae, and we actually tied the first 6 holes of the final 9. And on the 7th hole, I had a hiccup and he had a birdie, and I think I took a 5 and kind of ended my shot at winning the Worlds, but I ended up getting 2nd place, and it was such an amazing experience, and something I still look back on and think, wow, I hope that I can get that opportunity again someday. For the most part, the last couple years, I've mostly focused on competing in the Masters division. I kind of found that it's my sweet spot. I'm in my 4th year of doing it this year, and I think I still try to play in open, but I want to play where I can be the most competitive, and I found in the bigger tournaments, Masters divisions, where it's at for me. So of the 10 years I've been throwing DGA discs, it's been pretty awesome to be part of the growth and see all those little holes that I had maybe mentioned earlier when I first started throwing have been filled in with different molds over the years. It's been pretty amazing to have DGA right in my backyard, to be able to have that relationship. It's such an honor to be a part of it, but it's really become my disc golf family. Like, everybody who works there is a close friend, from Farina, Ed's wife, to the general manager, Scott, to all the guys in sales, Caesar, and now Matt, and KG, and Josh, and then Sylvia, who's the longest lasting employee. Whenever I go in, I get filled up. It's like I feel so comfortable there, and I know they appreciate having me there. Like, and it's one of those things where as long as they're gonna have me on the team, I can't think of myself being on any other team. It makes sense to me. It's the first company in disc golf, the legacy of Ed being on there. I have great teammates. The discs are amazing, and they just get better and better every year. So, and it's so nice just to know, I know what I'm throwing.
So just tell me about who you are. So like, if you were describing yourself on paper, like, how would you describe yourself?
Oh my God.
You're writing an essay. Shasta Criss is?
Shasta Criss is a multifaceted stone. I've had a competitive side in sports my whole life, but I also have a very creative side. You know, it brings me joy. I like to play music. I like to make things. I like to be creative. I like to have fun. I love nature. One of the big punchlines of DGA and what Ed would say is most fun wins. And that's definitely something that I've always resonated with DGA. And it's something I try to exude on the course and pass on to other players. It's like we're playing a game here. Try not to take myself too seriously. You know, we're not always going to be perfect or do things like that. And then I think I have the ability to look back on my experiences and grow from them. And that's something that is really important. And that I feel like I've gotten better and better at, and always trying to grow and improve and help other people do the same. Joking me up. Being a professional disc golfer, especially when I started, it's really a lifestyle choice. It's not about money. It's like, it's enabled me to travel the country and see people playing a game that I love. And I've actually been able to influence people in a positive way. I've had numerous people come and tell me that. That's priceless.